Good morning, everyone. Bill and Deb.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful morning this morning,
It
isn't it?
is.
Yeah.
We had
yeah.
quite the thunder, lightning, rainstorm
Yeah, we did.
late yesterday afternoon,
Yeah.
but this morning it is just beautiful.
Yeah. The lake's like glass. I don't know if you can see it very well or not behind me. But anyway, it is a beautiful morning. The sun's shining. The lake is like glass, like I just said
Like
a minute
you just
ago.
said.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what we thought we would talk about today, and it'll be semi-serious and hopefully interesting as well, in a way.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, really?
I'll just follow
That's
what
probably the first thing we should mention. You know, every single video we do, nothing at all is scripted. Nothing.
you say.
Nothing. No. And usually, we'll just talk among ourselves and just have basic things that we want to talk about, and we'll decide on that, and then we just let it go. And then of course I do some editing.
And then he edits me all out.
I do not. I do not. But anyway, we mentioned this briefly in one of our previous videos here just recently. Well, we got a comment here a while back from someone that said they liked watching our videos, enjoyed our videos, but don't laugh too much because it gets on their nerves.
I'm assuming they're talking about me.
Well, I don't know.
Because I do.
It doesn't matter.
I understand that I do.
Yeah. Well,
I've been trying to watch it.
you don't have to apologize for laughing, dear.
No.
That's the thing right now. Now, first off, let us say this. We are not naive. We know that we can't be all things to all of our viewers.
No.
No, it's a shame. We wish we could. And we really,
Because we appreciate all of our viewers.
Oh, absolutely. You have no idea how much we appreciate all of our viewers. But yes, we do laugh a lot. We do try to be happy and positive for the most part on all of our videos.
Well, we just try to do that in our life. That's not necessarily just on video.
Exactly. And there's a reason why.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we're going to talk about that a little bit here. This is some things that a few of our closest friends know about this, but not too many beyond that. So you're fixing to hear something that a lot of people didn't know about us. We've had our ups and downs over the years, like all couples do.
Well, we've had 51 years of marriage.
Yeah.
We've had 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost a couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So actually we had 5 children.
Exactly.
So we have had our own business. We have lost our own business. We have worked for other people.
Uh-huh.
We have pretty much had life.
Yeah, yeah. And this happens with everybody.
Absolutely.
And we know that.
Absolutely.
All most everybody out there goes through this.
The ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of life, But about 30 years ago, roughly in that area, we were just adding that up the other day, and we're thinking, man, it's been a long time. There was a time there when we were experiencing a pretty rough time in our life, and me personally, I felt I had a very, very, very low opinion of myself. And in order to cope with this, I started drinking. Now, I wasn't what you would call an alcoholic. I've never considered myself an alcoholic.
No, you weren't an alcoholic.
No.
You were self-medicating.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. But folks, I actually got to where I would make sure that each and every single day I had a 5th of 100 proof whiskey, and at the end of the day when I'd come home after work, by midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning, that entire bottle would be gone. Every single day for a year and a half. And it got so bad, and part of the problem was, really and truthfully, when we finally got our faculties back working properly in our heads and got our chemical balance back where it should be, we finally realized that what we were trying to do was impress all the wrong people. We weren't concerned about our lives and what truly made us happy. We were trying to make everybody else happy. I mean, quite honestly, wouldn't you say, really, in a nutshell, that's what it was?
Probably.
You know?
Yes.
And still, it felt like no matter what we did, no matter how hard we tried, it was never good enough. Never. Never good enough. So all we heard was this negative input practically on a daily basis. In fact, it got so bad for me that I actually, yeah, I actually went there. I actually had the suicidal thoughts and actually attempted to take my own life. So, you know, the only thing that helped us get out of that, well, first and foremost, I had befriended a deputy sheriff of all people, and he could tell, you know, that there was something wrong. And he called me one day and he said, Bill, would you come in? I'd like to visit with you. Would you come on into the office? So I did. And when I got there, he had a psychiatrist sitting there in the other chair. Anyway, we had a really nice discussion. And at the time, I tried to blow everything off and say, oh, you know, you guys are just, there's nothing going on. You know, it's typical of that situation. It's typical how people that are in that mindset, how they think and everything. And you just don't want to accept the fact that, yeah, you've got a problem, you know. And finally, though, things started coming to a head. And when I reached that point, and I was all by myself that day, when I reached that point where I tried, the first person I called was that sheriff's deputy. And he was there to help me. I had no idea it would go like this. Sorry.
That's why we have editing.
Well, but the thing about it is, though, it was from that point, even though I was at the bottom, very, very bottom, it was from that point that things started changing, although very slowly at first.
Extremely slowly.
Extremely slowly. And yeah, we continued to have very, very rough times for a while, but finally, what we finally figured out was the best thing for us was to distance ourselves from those who had all this negative input, because, you know, they didn't understand. You know, that was when they found out that I had gotten to that point, that was just more
Fodder.
fodder for them to put against me, to use against me, you know. And so finally what we did, we actually, you know, pretty much disappeared from all of them and didn't even hang around these people anymore, all these people that we had tried to impress all these years. And then
we changed our phone numbers.
Yeah.
We moved out of town. We did what we had to do with the two of us and our 3 children to survive.
yeah, that's what we did.
And that's not for everybody, but
No.
that's what we did.
That's the way we handled it, you know. And it took a while. Well, it took a long time, quite honestly, to come out of this. And of course, I went after that when I finally stopped, when I felt like I didn't need to self-medicate anymore. There was probably, how many years would you say that I never took any drink of any kind of alcohol whatsoever?
I would say 12 to 15 years.
Yeah, a
we
long
didn't
time.
we didn't have it in the house at all.
Yeah, right. And so it was easy for me to give it up once I finally got away, or we got away from all of the negative input that was all around us, you know. And as the time went on, you know, we came in contact with folks that didn't judge us in that manner, you know, that looked at us personally, not what we were able to accomplish or not accomplish in their own minds or whatever. They just simply looked at us for us. I don't know a better way to say that. Do you have a better way to say that?
Well, no, that sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, you know, and then as time went on, we find, you know, we went through this period, which a lot of people do, we went through this period, which a lot of people go through, and some of you are in this period now, where if you have problems, what's the first thing you do? You blame your problems on everyone else. And we did that for a long time. You know, we were so bitter. So bitter. And of course, during that period, we blamed everything, all of the problems that we had had, all of this turmoil that we went through all these years, we blamed it on everything else. And then finally one day we came to the realization that sure, you know, yeah, this negative input was bad. In the end, we finally realized, well, honestly though, it was because we simply made some poor decisions and entered into some situations that we should have known better. Right? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, really.
You know, hindsight.
Hell, hindsight is always better than foresight.
X.
But you know, as far as this, I know some of you are thinking, well, that was selfish on your part, Bill, to think about taking your own life. And you always hear that. Somebody will say, well, that's a selfish thing. Just think about all the people that you affect. You know, or you're thinking, well, I think I would be better off dead. Well, let me tell you something. You know, this is probably a new concept that a lot of you have never heard if you have this attitude towards folks that get to that point that they're ready to do this. In my particular situation, I never felt like I thought that I would be better off dead. I had had so much negative input from so many different people that I was trying so hard to impress and please that I really felt like in the end, because they had never had a positive thing to say about me whatsoever, what drove me to this point was, it wasn't that I thought that I would be better off dead. It had driven me to the point where I thought that they all would be happier if I was dead. From that point forward, you know, when we finally, and it took a while, like we say, it took a while for us to get through these stages and reach the point where we could finally start being happy again. And because of these stages we were going through, you know, our children suffered.
Well, yeah.
Our children suffered because of it. You
Well,
know.
they didn't suffer. I mean, they suffered because, of course, financially. They suffered because their parents were just miserable.
Yeah.
You know, your 16-year-old daughter takes over the household bills because you don't have enough function to do that.
Right.
So, yeah, the whole family suffered a little bit. And we have tried, since we recovered from this, to become different, happier. You know,
Right.
you be you, I'll be me.
There you go. And that's the way we look at everything. You know, we don't get involved when in all the background gossip and all that stuff, because it doesn't do anybody any good.
It certainly didn't do us any
No,
good.
not at all.
So-
not at all.
Are we happy now? Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
But it took a great mind change for us to reach this stage of our lives.
Yes.
And at this point, we made the decision to get rid of all of our, you know, household possessions and live in a
8.5 by 20 foot
you know,
box.
box. And some of our friends and family probably do not understand this, but they also see that we are happier
Yes.
than we have ever been.
Yeah. We don't hold grudges anymore. We just don't do that no more. You know, this is a stage that we went through, and it took us a while to realize that all this is doing, the longer we hold these kind of grudges, the longer we try to say, well, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of this person, or this person, the longer we keep thinking that way, all it's going to do is make us miserable again, and we prefer not to participate in misery.
We prefer to be happy.
Yeah, no matter
And,
what.
you know, it has taken us a while to get here,
Yeah. And,
but we are happy.
yeah.
I mean, do we have bad days? Yes,
Oh,
we do.
You better believe we have bad days.
Do we have days it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Is living tiny like this an easy thing to do?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, you are to the basics of life, especially when you're moving from campsite to campsite to campsite. You're constantly concerned about water, power, getting rid of your wastewater.
Yeah.
These are all things that you deal with. Plus, you want your campsite to look, for the most part, as neat and tidy as you can
Yeah.
keep it. You don't want to, look trashy. And these are all, it's some days, like last night, pouring down rain. We had a trash can sitting under the trailer, and I asked Bill, I said, did you put that trash can in the van? And it was pouring down rain. He
Oh.
says, no.
I'll get up and go.
I
do
said,
it.
well, I guess we can chance it that the raccoons
Yeah.
and stuff won't get into it tonight.
Yeah.
And he says, no, I'll go put it in the van. So he goes back out. But what
know-
we're saying is it takes work to live this way.
Yeah.
But we are happier doing this than dealing with the stresses
Yeah.
of living in a
So yeah, we're going to laugh, we're going to giggle, we're going to always try to be positive. This is a tough old world we live in, believe
Absolutely.
it or not. Absolutely. And we all know this. And other things that we do to try to keep this positive attitude is we don't watch any news networks, in our YouTube feed. We have favorite things that we like to watch. Well, when we're going down scrolling through YouTube, and if I see something pop up that has a thumbnail that says so-and-so said this about this particular thing, on the news network or something like that, the first thing I do is I go up there and tap on the three little dots. And when I tap on the three little dots, all these different things pop up that you can do. And one of the things I tap on is not interested. Because all that's going to do, if I go in and watch something like that, it's going to get me riled up. It's going to get me upset. It's going to mess with my personal happiness. So I don't do that. And we know there's a lot of bad stuff that happens out there in the world, and we are aware of tragedies when they happen, and it saddens us greatly, and we pray for these people that are victims of these tragedies, But we still try to put a positive spin on life in general, to try to be as happy as we can possibly be. That's all there is to it. And when you see these thumbnails on YouTube where this striking thing where it grabs your attention and gets you riled up and you want to go in there and look at it, I'll let you in on a little secret, folks. That's how they make their money. That's how they make their money, is to get you riled up. That's all there is to it. So here again, I prefer not to do that. We have fallen into the trap of having thumbnails that have a little drama on them, and we always felt bad about it when we did. But guess what? People thrive on drama. Guess what videos get the most views in general? The ones that have the drama in the thumbnail. How many times have you opened up a video to watch it because there was some drama in the thumbnail, and then when you actually started watching the video, honestly, ask yourself this: you didn't really see the drama in the video that you expected from the thumbnail? Were you disappointed? Were you disappointed? That's the whole idea. So, here again, as I said in the beginning, we know that we can't be all things to all people, but we really do hope that we can bring a little joy in everyone's life that watches our videos.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
basically, I guess what we try to do is show you things we do this is our life. These are the things we do. Now, we don't show you our day to day to day to
No,
day
no,
because,
no, no.
quite honestly, that's a little boring.
It is. Boring.
It's very repetitive.
Yeah. It is.
But if we can help you see the positive side of life, if we can help you gain just a little bit of joy, then, our life is, that's good to us. It's good for our psyche.
We hope that with all the stuff that's going on in the world, we can let you come over to our channel and find this little paradise back in the corner. I don't know of a better way of putting that. But I keep thinking about when we had our last rendezvous up in down in Florida, and we talked about this during the rendezvous and shortly after the rendezvous in Florida. We had folks come from all over the country, and you know good and well that everybody had their own opinions about this and that, from being from all over the country. But that wasn't the theme of the rendezvous at all.
And we're hoping to have that same from our fall event.
Exactly.
Same
Yeah.
basic feeling. We're just all out here to enjoy life.
That whole event was nothing but, I've used the term magical before, but it was, quite honestly, the major theme of the whole thing was joy and laughter.
Yeah.
If you think we laugh too much, boy, you should, because
Should have been
we
there.
could hear laughter everywhere. And when we get together, all of us in the crowd kept getting bigger and bigger each evening as more people came into the rendezvous. We would always have a campfire going, and the crowd would get bigger and bigger around this campfire. And it was nothing but joy and laughter. People telling stories about their experiences, camping here and there, and all these different things, and the funny things that had happened. And sometimes we get tired and go to bed.
And they stayed
and
out.
And we'd be kept awake till 2 a.m. because of all the laughter going on
So
outside. So, and we're hoping that the very same theme will continue on at the upcoming rendezvous, which is, just a tad over 2 weeks away from the day that we're filming this right now. So, and I now am sporting, our new shirt for the fall rendezvous here in Arkansas.
I still have our regular one.
Yeah, Deb has a regular one there, but and you can still get these. We can't guarantee at this late date that you'd have them delivered in time if you're coming to the rendezvous, but you can go to our website and go into the what we call it, our store. Is that
Our
the category?
store,
Yeah.
yes.
Go into click on the menu and go to the category that says our store, and you can find these shirts. But at this late date, if you decided you wanted to order one of these shirts, we can't guarantee that you would have them by the time of the rendezvous. But if you'd like to have one just so you can wear it now and then,
Just so you can say
Yeah.
that you got one.
yeah, there you go. Anyway, I hope this helps some folks. I hope it didn't turn some folks off. But here again, we already know we can't be all things to all people, don't we? But we're going to let you go for now. This is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. And you know exactly what we're going to say. We're not camping.
We're living.
Y'all get out there and do some living, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.